All right, good morning, Remax Ace. Christine Boland here. I am excited to talk to you guys about the new Realm CMA today. So how many of you guys were doing CMAs in Stratus before on a regular basis for your listing appointments? Okay, absolutely essential. Use the CMA tool. It's stupid easy. They've changed it so there's even better features now, and there's lots of stuff to do. But basically, what it is it's getting you ready for your listing appointment. So within 5 minutes, you have a wealth of information and a really impressive report to give your clients. So get in there, get practicing, use it, and really, really try to have a better listing appointment for it. So our goal is to close these listing appointments, right? It's hopefully becoming listing season now with the interest rates going down a little bit. People feel a little more confident to sell, like they might get a little bit more. And hopefully we'll see that shift to a seller's market, because I mean, it's an easy market for us. We put the listing up, we get the sales off the listing, and lots of people calling us in off that listing. So we get new buyers to work with, right? So really focus on your listing presentation. I always say over and over again, especially for you new agents, a successful agent is a listing agent because they know your name, they see your sign in the lawn. Once you work with a buyer and you stop working with that buyer, you turn around, you're chasing business again, right? But with a listing, you build out that popularity where people start calling you off your sign. You just build up a rapport in that neighborhood. You get buyers off of that listing. So our focus is on listing for sure. So now, just because I find that I talked a little bit about how to use the new Realm and everything, another new feature is the CMA within Realm. And it's not that different from what we were doing in Stratus, but like I said, there's a couple of new things. But I'm going to also show you what I do with my own CMA as well, which I think is a solid appointment. So when you're sitting for a listing appointment, they always say if you answer all the questions the client has to ask, then they'll list with you. They have to like you too, but they always want to know why choose you, right? Why choose the brand, what commission you're charging, how you're going to market the property, and what their property is worth. Okay. So we'll start in with the guts of what their property is worth, which is what the Realm CMA tool is. So I'm just going to go and share the screen here and come into our login. So there's our dashboard when we log in. And now whether we go to search property or Realm, either one brings us to Realm now, because we know Stratus is phasing out there quickly. And when you go into Realm, you have these little buttons up here at the top right on your toolbar. And you're going to click on that. And inside there is your Realm CMA. Okay. So we can see in there, oops, sorry, I think there we go. So we can see in here, it has a bank of all your CMAs that you've been doing. It's pretty brand spanking new, so I haven't done that many CMAs in it. And we're just going to pick a random property. So let me go back one step and let's just find something that's available around the office to focus on right now. So I'm going to click on Realm and I'm going to go for a search. Clear my searches here, whatever I was searching last. And let's just see, what do we have available around the office that we can use as a subject property? So you're going to pick the subject properties, obviously the one you're going for the listing appointment for. So you want to try and find out as much as you can about the property itself from your client. So you're going to talk on the phone with them and you're going to talk about different things, because I'm going to show you how to look up their old sale, but also you don't know what renovations and stuff they've done since they purchased the property. So make sure you have a little conversation with them. I found as a new agent, very often I'd get off that phone and I go, oh shoot, I didn't ask them anything about the property. Did they complete the basement since they got it? Did they renovate the kitchen? Did they do anything substantial to the house, right? So have that conversation when they call you on the phone, because you've never met them before, you've never seen their property. And then you're going to come in here and you're just going to go, so we'll pick, I don't want a condo, hold on. We'll pick a random property that's currently for sale, just so we can show how we do the research on it. So let's pick this 70 Commonwealth, okay? So this is the subject property I'm going to use, okay? So the first thing I want to do is I want to go to Geo Warehouse. So if I wasn't coming in, because this has a current listing, if I wasn't coming in, off of the listing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the geo warehouse on the property. So what did I say here? 70 Commonwealth is what we're going to choose. You're going to go up here to this, these blocks again, and you're going to grab geo warehouse and open it. And I cannot stress to you how many times, if you guys aren't opening your geo warehouse for every single time you're doing a listing and every single time you're doing an offer, you're going to make a big mistake one day soon. Because I got to tell you, most of the complaints that I deal with, not just in this office that I've ever dealt with, have ever of all stemmed from somebody not checking the geo warehouse. It's something that should have been readily available to them on their fingertips to know, and that they've made a mistake on because they haven't pulled the geo warehouse. So get in the habit of, no matter what you're doing, whether you're creating an offer, whether you're creating a listing, your listing appointment, you always go and you open your geo warehouse. Okay. So we're going to open this 70 Commonwealth. Okay. Because yes, I'm going to look at the old listing if there's an old listing, but I don't want to trust that realtor's information. I always want to verify what the information is. So I'm going to see here that it's owned by Nepal. So I know that it's just the one person I'm dealing with for my listing appointment, which is super important. Why? Because say Nepal had a spouse, right? And I make the appointment and I go and I sit with Nepal, and then I waste all my time sitting there, and he turns around and he says to me, you know what? I have to wait till my wife comes. Why don't you come back tomorrow or the day after? So I always want to make sure I'm checking title, because when I'm going for this listing appointment, I'm going to say, hey, are you and your spouse going to be around for the appointment? Because I see that you're both on title. I'd like to speak to both of you, right? And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and find some basic information about this property, because I want to know what to compare it to. So I see that it's 40 by 137 feet, right? And I see that, okay, it is 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom. It's only 1 story. It's a single family detached home. So we're looking at a freehold here. It's not link. It's not parcel tied land. We can see all that information here. So I've got some pretty basic information that I can get started with now. So I'm going to go back to my CMA, and I'm going to get started. So we've picked our subject property now that our clients called us about, 70 Commonwealth. So when you click on the CMA, again, we found it here just to go backtrack because I went off there a little. It's in Realm CMA here at the top. You come to this screen. And first things first, the new Realm CMA is awesome, because before you used to have to look up the old listing and find that MLS number and then import the data. So right off the bat, they have this beautiful new address search bar, which is going to do 2 steps for you in once, and you don't have to come back and forth within your CMA. So I'm going to go Commonwealth, and it's going to bring me up that property right there. Okay, which is great, because when I click on it, actually, what's this one? This was 3-bedroom, 1-bath. This says 2-bedroom, 1-bath. Which one are we talking about here now? This is new, right? So did they add a bedroom since the old listing? I'm not sure. So anyways, 70 Commonwealth Avenue detached. I'm going to go click on that. I'm going to click create. Okay. So while we're in here, it's going to let me search for some comparable properties. So what am I searching for? So I know that I looked up just now on the Geo Warehouse. It was a freehold. I only want to look at what's sold, because sold is proof of what it would sell for. Okay. They put it in an old price range here. I don't usually like to keep this around. Okay. And I want to look within 2.5 kilometers of the property, only in the last 12 months. Okay. And I'm going to go search properties. So again, another function that's really good, because you get right into the search of comparing within the CMA. So you don't have to do anything separate. You can add them separate, which I'll show you in a little bit, but this is really great. So I'm going to come in here, and I know that I was searching around the office. So I'm going to go to Toronto. And I'm going to go to EO4. Okay. And I'm not going to take the time to go into each and every one property, but I found, oops, not CO2, EO4. I find this is a little bit slow and sticky sometimes, and I'm always waiting on Realm after I click there. See, it does CO4 again. You guys can see I'm clicking on EO4 there. Okay, so EO4. Catch up with me, realm. There we go. Okay, so we're just going to pretend for a minute. We saw that, the lot was 40 by 1 something there, and it was a 3-bedroom that we were looking at, and it was a detached. So maybe I'll take this a little bit further and I can click on style and have it be a detached home. Okay. Come on. There we go. Okay, so we're just going to imagine that these first 3 are the most comparable, and I want to throw these 3 into my CMA. So I can go here and I can pick 1, 2, 3. Okay, then I'm going to go up here to my CMA button. So when we're in our search, the CMA button is normally not there, but because we've come in to search through our CMA, we have a brand new CMA button at the top right there in blue. And I'm going to say add to comparables. And I'm just going to wait for Round to catch up with me there. I did click on it, right? 3 properties added to Commonwealth. You see there, it just popped up at the bottom. And now I'm going to go to the CMA there again, and I'm going to say return to CMA. Now, imagine that I was like, I'm looking at these 3, but I want to find something else. So I want to manually add one to this, to the CMA. So I'm going to go back here to this tab, and I'm just going to pretend like, say this one on Ellington or Marble Arch. Let's say this one on Marble Arch, I think is a really good comparison, and I want to add this to my CMA as well. What I can do is I can take that MLS number and I can copy it. So I'm just going to do a Control-C, and I'm going to come back into my report and I'm going to manually add it. So I'm going to come here to this button here, this with the arrow, and say add listings. And I'm going to go Control-V. It's going to bring me up the listing, the full MLS listing there. I'm going to click on it, and then I'm going to click add. So you can do it both ways. You can do it through the search, or you can do it through the manual add. Okay. So from here now we have 4 comparable properties, but I just want to back up a little bit because I didn't skip the search part. When we went to the subject property at the very beginning and we searched for it, I don't know if you guys remember in the old CMA, we'd either have to manually add all the information about the property. So I would literally print the old, listing or the old geo warehouse, and I'd go and we'd fill in each field. Or there was a function that they brought in that we could add the MLS number. So you'd have to go search for the old listing of the property from whenever, say it was 2005, and then you'd import it in. But because they have this search function right at the beginning of our CMA now, it automatically imports all the information. So you can go back and you can see that the subject property already has all this information here. Now, super important. Remember, I talked about having that conversation with your clients on the phone. What is different about the property since they purchased it? Because this is reading off of an old listing. Okay, so this listing could be from 2005, right? They're saying the list price is $7.99. That's because I pulled it off of a today listing in EO4. But so very often this will say $5.99 or $3.99. They say they bought in 1989. This is pulling off of an old listing. So make sure you pay attention to this field and you don't keep that list price, because you don't want to show up at your clients and you have suggesting that they sell their $1 million property for $5.99 because it's showing their sale price from 2005 or something, right? So go in and check the price right away. Okay. The next thing you want to do is you want to go through the information and make sure that it's still up, that it's all up to date. Because like I say, it's pulling off of that old listing. So it's saving you the time of filling out all the fields, but it's also a little pitfall that you can fall into. So imagine now that they finish off the basement and they put some bedrooms in the basement. It's no longer a 3-bedroom. Now it's a 3+2, and it didn't have a fireplace, but since they upgraded the main floor, now they added a beautiful gas insert. So yep, they have a fireplace, and the basement is no longer unfinished. I want to put that the basement is finished and it has a separate entrance, right? And the exterior, he tore off that ugly vinyl siding and he put a stone finish on it. Looks like a brand new house. You see, you guys kind of get the idea of what I'm saying, right? Because this is all pulling off of the old listing, okay? And then maybe you can adjust the customization of what it said in the customer remarks before. Not super important, but the other thing I wanted to mention is that very often, not only is that price wrong, the list price that you're suggesting, also the taxes are wrong. So I find on the first appointment, listing appointment, I very often have this blank because I haven't asked them their tax information yet because I haven't done the MLS data sheet. But make sure you go in here and you delete that as well. I mean, unless you want to explain to them it's not current information, but it might say $2,000 taxes for 2020 for 2005, right? Could be totally incorrect. Okay. So far, so good, everybody. So we take our subject property, okay, and you're looking for the most comparable property. So I didn't take the time to search it, but I want you guys to really make sure that your pricing strategy is on point, okay? Because it's very important that you're knowledgeable, okay? You want to make sure you know what's going on in the neighborhood directly around them, about the properties that are very, very similar and how much they recently sold for, okay? And you want to pay attention to things like how many days on market, because things that stayed longer on market were probably not priced at the right price point, right? And everybody wants their sale to go smooth and fast. So you want to make sure that you take time on that part. Even though I didn't, I'm just showing you how to create the CMA. Take time on that part to have a very comparable property. Check lot size. Take time to look at the pictures on the inside. So if your client's telling you, oh my God, I've done a full new renovation, I put that gas insert in the living room, I redid the kitchen, I finished the basement fully, it's brand new, no one's ever even lived there. You want to make sure that you're looking through pictures and see that what properties are comparable, okay? So from here now we have our subject property and we've picked our comparable properties that we think are really nice and comparable. We're going to come to the adjustment section, okay? Now, how does the adjustment section work? So what it does is it lines up your subject property and you can see the comparable properties here. And one by one, you can look at them. So we can look at the 4 that I chose to compare it to, okay? And I can scroll through them. Now, what we're trying to come to is what true price this is going to sell. So these are recent comparable sales that I've picked to throw into the CMA. So we want to make sure that we're going and we're comparing them tit for tat. So right now we see that the subject property has 3 bedrooms and 3 bedrooms, but our client put that beautiful 2-bedroom basement in. So in the comparable, they don't have the 2-bedroom basement, okay? So we can say that that this comparable here doesn't have finished, whoops, it's wrong, they finished basement. There we go. Now, how much do we think a finished basement is worth? Any idea, guys? If you were buying a property versus a property that doesn't have a finished basement, how much do you think that that property would be worth? How much do people normally spend on finishing their basement? 50? 50, 75,000. Okay. So, and we're also looking at not only how much it took to complete that basement, but the income that's going to come out of it. So we value that property a lot more because that 2-bedroom basement is going to help pull some income in to help us carry the mortgage, right? So we're going to say that because this comparable doesn't have the finished basement, it's worth $75,000 less, right? Than what our property is worth. Okay. And so on and so forth. So you can go through the different comparables and see and do your adjustments that way, right? Okay, so now we're going to go to customize content, which is the next tab. And this just allows you to choose what you want to be a part of your CMA. So you have the title page, the table of contents, the subject property details, the comparable summary report, the comparable property list. Anyways, you can see going on. None of this makes sense till you actually see the report. So when I spit out the report, I'll show you guys what each section is. Okay, but that just lets you customize. You can say, you know what, I don't really need the table of contents. I want to stick some extra information of my own, which I almost always do. So I never use their table of contents. And you might say, you know what, I don't really want the demographics, or I don't really, you can pick and choose what parts of the report you want. And then you're going to customize appearance. So as you can see in here, I've thrown in the Remax Ace logo. I have me and Shiraz in there for the report. And this shows up on the footer really nicely. The display of this report is super great. Okay. And that's about it. So that took me an extra long time to explain to you guys. But if you go in, really, you just got to search for your property that you're using as a subject property. You got to search for a few really good comparables that you think it is. It literally takes you 5 minutes. 5 minutes when you get used to using it, right? Now I'm just going to go to share or export and show you exactly what it's done. So share or export, I can print, I can download. I'm going to show you this link in a minute, which is another awesome new feature. So we're going to say download. Okay. And we're just going to take a look at the report here. It's going to come up. So 5 minutes of your time, guys. And it does this beautiful report. So there's our title page that we were talking about. And see the footer at the bottom has your information. Subject property details. Okay. Comparable summary report. So it just takes the low price of the properties you pick, the high price, the median, how many days on market, how many active comparables they are, right? This map is beautiful, beautiful part of it. We had this in our old CMA as well, but I love it because very often, just because your client lives in that neighborhood, they don't necessarily know all the street names in that neighborhood. So they go, well, I'm sorry, I don't know where, Commonwealth or where Kennedy Road or whatever is. I pull up this map page and I say, see how close they are in comparison. They're right in your pocket, right in your neighborhood, the comparisons that I picked. Okay, then here's your side-by-side comparison, which I really like because it's at a glance, you can see everything. You can see, okay, this is the MLS number. They were both detached bungalows. They all had 3 bedrooms. They all had this. And then we get stopped up to that point where this is 3 plus 2 and see how this is only 3. We come down to the bottom and we've done the adjustment for it. So we minus $75,000 off of that, okay? You can see the adjusted price. Learn how to play around with it to make it make sense to you, to what you're trying to show your client. Because basically what we're trying to do is trying to educate our client at the end of the day, what we feel the property would sell for. We all know as agents, if it's priced right, it'll go. So usually I explain to my clients, if we underprice it, you'll go really quick. Okay. You should be gone off the market in a week. You'll spark lots of interest and you're going to come to the highest bidded price on your bid date. If you price it at the exact price it's supposed to be at, you'll usually stay the days on market, right? So the average days on market, which I'm going to show you guys again, is 19 at the moment for the Toronto Real Estate Board. Again, something you guys should always have on your fingertips when your clients ask you these questions. And then if you overprice your property, so we always have those clients that want to overprice their property. I like to explain to them that, like, what is your motivation? And they say, well, I really need to be out of here. I just got a job. I've got to move to Brampton for September. And I'm going to say, okay, that's fine. Because understand that if you overprice your property, you're going to be on the market 19 days plus. 19 is for the properly priced property, the average days on market. Okay. So do you want to stay on the market for a month plus? No, I don't. Okay, then maybe we should use my pricing strategy. And here are the reasons why. It's not because I want to sell your house for lower. A lot of people think that, oh, this agent just wants to sell my house for lower. But you have all the information at your fingertips here to show them. No, look at this is what everything sold for. And you can see that this one stayed a little longer on the market. Let me expand this a little bit for you. This one stayed a little longer on the market because it was priced, overpriced for what the regular prices in the neighborhood are, or whatever the case may be for that. Okay. All right. And then it just does some demographics and stuff at the back. Each individual property gets its page after that, but then it does the price comparison and the demographics we were talking about. So, average household income. I don't know if your clients are interested. I find this demographics report is more wanted from people purchasing in the neighborhood because they want to know the demographics of the neighborhood, but maybe the people selling want it as well. Okay. And that is that for the guts of the CMA report. Now, I just want to go back out of this report here. Okay. And I want to show this link that is amazing, that I absolutely love, because we didn't have this before. So I just clicked on that link. So it says it's copied. I'm going to come over here to this page and just paste it. So now we have a link that we can send to our clients. And it is absolutely gorgeous because it comes up almost like we created a beautiful web page for our clients. Okay, so for those clients that we're not meeting in front, which I really am not a fan of, I think I would pull this up in the middle of the listing appointment on my laptop, perhaps. But there's two things I like to mention. I don't like listing appointments over the phone. You're never going to get signed over the phone or convince someone. So I really, really want to sit down in front of them. And I like to leave paper with them. So my booklet is lingering around in their house and they see my face, right? They remember calling me, I want to list your property. But still, gorgeous tool that this is. I think I would use it more to sit down with my clients on my laptop. And all of those contents I just showed you are are on this beautiful website that it's created for your CMA. So you can see it has a subject property there with my info. I can click and I can look at the subject property details. Sorry, I've got all these Zoom bars on top of me that I can't click on other things. And then you're gonna go, oops. Oh, goodness. Let's go back and get that link again. Sorry, I'm like moving a Zoom bar out of the way and I lost my link there. Okay. Come on. Okay, so yeah, so all the parts of the CMA are there at a simple little click and they're all displayed properly. So let's go to the comparable property, for instance, side by side. There's all those comparable properties that we had with all the adjustments and everything all across the board. I think this is an excellent, beautiful display that we never had before in the Stratus CMA. One of my favorite new features of it. So really digging that. Okay, so does anybody have any questions on this part of the CMA? Does anybody want me to go over it again? Like I say, I encourage you guys just go in and create a fake CMA and pick a property that's currently for sale and do a CMA on it. Sorry, you had a question?
Go back. I think I missed some part in here. I tried to find out this.
Okay, which part do you want me to find for you?
Like the from the link, like you made this little
So here at the end, okay, so it says here, we just went through as you go through the report, the top takes you through sort of the menu of what you're doing. So it's at the top, subject property, add comparable, you do your adjustments, you customize your content, customize the appearance, and then the very last thing is share or export. So when you click on share or export, right? That's where the link is. Okay, so you can either download the full report or you can click the link and go onto the website that I was showing you. So if you click the link, see, automatically it says copied. Then you can just email that to your client, you know what I mean? Or send a text to your client, however you want to send it to your client. And this will come up for them for the CMA, the whole CMA. Mm-hmm. Right? It's just a link that you can share with your clients. Okay, so now I just want to go over, like we were talking about how many different sections of your CMA you should have. That was the one section when your client asks you, what is my property worth? So that whole report is just focused on what is my property worth, right? But you haven't answered all your clients' questions. So they want to know, why should I use you? Why should I use your brand? How much commission you're going to charge me? And how you're going to market my property, right? And how's the market doing? They always ask you, how's the market's doing, right? So I'm just going to show you how I combat these questions already. And I put it all together in a nice little booklet. So I'm going to share my CMA with you guys. I have it open here on a tab somewhere. Okay. So I'm just trying to find it on the share here. How many of you guys have prepared your CMA? Nobody. You should be preparing it, because I'm going to show you that this is prepared for years and years and years now. I tweak the information every now and then. You can see all the parts of my CMA are here. I just come in and edit them quickly. So I take 5 minutes in, well, what was Stratus, now what will be Realm going forward. I take 5 minutes in Realm and I take 5 minutes on my personalized information. And I have this beautiful booklet that I always impresses the clients. I can't tell you guys time and time again how many compliments I get. So I always go first to why choose me, right? So why choose Christine Hazel Boland? Okay. So put things in here that are true to you. So I always say 2 things that I can promise you: nobody outworks me. I know from the time I get your listing to the time it's sold, I am bothered. I think about it every minute of the day and I'm like, I got to get this sold. I don't just throw things up and sit passive and hope that it sells. I'm not that agent, right? So the second thing I always say to them, I will always tell you the truth. So my clients always go, well, that's a funny one. I'm like, oh, well, it's true. You know what I mean? Because if you're going to tell me your house is worth 1.1, I know that I've educated myself enough that I'm going to come and say it isn't. Or no, I think I can get more. Or I think you should do this, and then perhaps we can try and hit that target, right? Anyways, just a couple of other things. My track record of selling compared to the competition is 3-1. So if you look on the real estate board, a lot of agents aren't really that active on the board. It's really good to get stats up there. You probably can look pretty impressive. Or you can say, you know, I did so much in gross commission last year. Or you can say I did so X amount of sales, whatever you think feels impressive for that you're going to put yourself out there. Because you're trying to sell yourself to the client at the end of the day, right? And then when you hire me, I redid this content when I moved to this office. So it only says 90 plus realtors. I know we're a lot more than that. My actual CMA that I use, not on the internet, is up to date with the information, but that's just a quick why you choose me. Okay. Then the next thing I go over is why choose Remax. So let me go back and share the screen there again. Just need to get out of here, but everything is like so. There we go. Why choose Remax? So why do we choose Remax? Okay. Why did you guys choose Remax? Think about that. Why did you choose Remax? So why did you choose to be a Remax agent over any other brand? Okay. So you got to push that. You got to push the reasons why you feel proud to work for Remax, right? Remax is #1 brand across the world. We all know that. Okay. There's no other brand out there that does advertising for us. So we always wonder where our fees and everything go. Obviously, you know, we grumble when we have to pay them, but I mean, all those billboards out there and all the commercials you see, you ever see any other brokerage ever do that? No other real estate brand does that. Nobody advertises like that. So they do take a lot of our monthly dues and stuff that we pay and they push it into advertising. We're known worldwide, right? We have, again, these stats might not be correct because this is from 3.5 years ago when I joined Remax here. But you know, look up, Google search it, see what kind of things that you feel are important about Remax, why you're proud to be a part of the brand, right? So I put in here that we give a lot to the Children's Miracle Network. I update my stats every year to find out how much more we gave. So it's a lot more than 147 million now. I think it was 200 and something the last time I looked. But these are things that are important because I like to donate. Our SEO marketing is second to none. So as a Remax agent, we're more viewed online just because of how they push their SEO marketing and all of that stuff. So just do a quick Remax page to show your clients, this is why I choose Remax. This is why I chose Remax to be a Remax agent. This is why you should choose it to sell your property. Okay. Then the next part I do is the commission breakdown. So this is my absolute favorite slide. I think I use it in not only the CMA training, but every single training possible in this brokerage or any brokerage that I've trained at. So when your client asks you, what kind of commission are you going to charge? Usually we get what? The people who want to say 1%, right? I just want to make sure you guys can see online there because sometimes when I switch slides, I know you guys lose the share. So, okay. So I always have this commission breakdown for me to explain it to my clients. And I say to them, look, the average commission is 5% for a total transaction. Of that, 2.5% goes to the co-op, whoever's bringing us a buyer. So we're not going to touch that 2.5%, right? So what I'll do is I'll work with my 2.5. Now, of my 2.5, I go on and I share with my brokerage 1.25. Most of the population, they don't understand exactly what our splits are. They don't understand 90-10, 85-15. They don't understand that, right? So I just say, oh yeah, you know, 1.25 goes to my brokerage. So they go, okay. So I said, no problem. What I'll do is I'll take 0.25 off of my side and I'll list for 1%. Are we good with that? Sure. But at the end of the day, you see what we end up with. We end up with 4.75 because I've really only taken 0.25 off the total transaction. Okay. A lot of people see 1% advertising. A lot of people don't fully understand what that means, right? So I always tell everybody, you got to work for more commission at the end of the day. You got to push for it because this is what we're doing for our license. You know, you're paying your RICO fees, your TREB fees, Remax, everything that you're doing, you have to use this slide in your listing presentations to explain that to your clients, to show them your worth. And you're going to be showing them your worth because, like I said, we said, why choose me? Why choose Remax? We're showing them worth. And our next slide is going to be, what are we going to do to market your property, right? So what are we doing to market the property? Okay, let me just find my slide there. It's my listing plan of action. This is my listing plan of action for you guys. So what am I doing to market your property? And again, don't put stuff you're not going to do. If you're not going to follow up with them every week or give them a report every week or, you know, go door knocking in their neighborhood or send just listed flyers, don't put it in here because your clients will refer back to it and said, hey, you promised me that you were going to send out just listed flyers and I never saw any flyers go out. And that's in your listing plan of action. So put stuff that you're actually going to do. So just a few things off the top. I put research current and past neighborhood sales and price your home competitively, right? I know my pricing strategy is good. Ensure your listing has a strong online presence and load on MLS, my Facebook, my Instagram, my Twitter, various other social media. Create a target marketing strategy. Conduct a photo shoot of your home. Again, you get the picture. Put in what you're going to do because you're showing them value at the end of the day. Stage your home, you know, do minor repairs, you know, get your lawn mowed, whatever you're throwing into your package to get your listing for your client, put it in here because then they see that value. And then when you're talking about commission at the end of the day, you have an easier time with that slide. Okay, so then we're going to go on to what is happening in the market. So this is my slide. Again, it won't be current for today because this is just my training slides I have posted on my Google online. But actually, it is pretty accurate because I know the average days is on 19 right now, but the sales aren't 9,000, they're 7,000 something. Where are you finding these stats? Okay, how are you talking intelligently to your clients every day about the market? Do you guys know what the average days on market is or what the average sales have been? Or even just for your pocket that you're working in? If you're working a certain pocket, do you know what the average sales are for that? Okay, what you should be doing is you should pulling up the Treb Market Watch. And you don't even have to log in because it's public information. So I normally just go to Google and I put Treb Market Watch. There you go. It's the first thing in my search. Okay, and you're going to pull up the Treb Market Watch and it's always going to be for the previous month. So when you come in, you go to, I want just to pull the full report to show you guys. And you're going to come in here and the first page is going to be a general overview of the entire Toronto Real Estate Board. So right there, you can see where I get my listing days on market from. That's the average for 2024. Compared to last year, 2023, it was 14. So we are, on average, we're sitting 5 days, about a week longer on market than we were last year. Okay. Strange for these times, because if you guys are familiar looking at the market watches, usually in the springtime, they hit like 7, 10, 11. So it's kind of high. It's kind of high still for us, but you're giving your clients an idea. Like I was saying, you want to sense their motivation at the end of the day. So if they are really motivated to sell, then you are encouraging them to use the pricing strategy that you're presenting to them by giving them this information. Well, the average days on market is 19. So if the average price in your neighborhood is $750, why don't we list for $699 and try to speed up that process? Because you really need to sell right now, right? And again, you can look at the average price of detached homes. You can look at the number of sales. So there you go. I said it was about 7,013, right? So we're a little low. We're not seeing that amount of sales. So we're looking at about 1,000 less, right? No, more than almost 2,000 less than last year, which is a lot because that's just for the month, right? Just for the month on the board. So we're hoping to see a little resurgence of people wanting to sell, and maybe we'll get a late spring market, but our spring market by far was not what it was supposed to be yet. Okay. And then you can literally go down this list and break it down, and you can see by house type, and it breaks it down further by region, by Treb area. And you can go as far as going down by each little district code. So W04, CO9. So if you're working a certain market, a certain pocket, you can customize your CMA to be just for that pocket, for that house, for that listing that you're trying to get, right? And then the very last part I put into my CMA always, let me just close a few windows here for you, is about referrals. I always ask for referrals. So we always say, you know, Thank you for giving me the opportunity to discuss the benefits I can provide you. I look forward to working with you. Let me know if you can spread the good word about my business and your good experience with me. You know, I'd love to see a referral from you. Okay. You can't forget to ask for referrals because in a sales business, every single day, your mind should always be about expanding your network. So every single day, everybody you talk to, even if they don't have business, you don't just go, oh, okay, and move on. You have to say, no problem. Do you know anybody buying or selling? Everybody you talk to. This shouldn't just be for your CMA presentation. It should be for your door knocks, for your cold calls, for the guy you just met in the convenience store that you talked to that you handed a business card to. Well, you're not selling right now, but you let me know if anybody is. You know, maybe I'll take you out to dinner one day, or I'll give you a gift certificate or something. Offer them something, you know, for the referral. So don't forget about that at the end of the day. You're constantly expanding your network. All right, so how's everybody online there? Has anybody checked out the new Realm CMA and how to work with it? No, nobody's checked it out yet. You guys should be doing it. You're either not doing listing appointments or you're not closing them as well as you could if you're not doing your CMA. Like I say, it's as easy as 5 minutes in Realm. I'm going to say Stratus now. 5 minutes in Realm and 5 minutes updating your marketing material like I just showed you there. Okay. The very first time you have to take the couple hours and sit down and create the rest of your CMA. Why me? Why Remax? What commission you're charging? How is the market? You know, put your referral in, put a nice little, you know, logo page, maybe with the property front view of the property picture, something to make your report really nice. But once you spend those couple hours and create your report, it literally is just changing very little information every time. So I only change the what's happening in the market once a month. Obviously, at the beginning of the month, the first CMA I'm doing that month, I go and I change that market information. And then I tweak a little bit of information, like on my title page and that, like the client's name that I'm going to see, and maybe the picture of the front of the property or whatever. But within 10 minutes, you should have a beautiful presentation to walk out the door, right? And then people are impressed. They look, it looks like, wow, this agent knows what they're doing. They did all this research. They're so valuable. I think I'm going to use them, right? So you should be closing more and more of your listing appointments this way. If you're walking in and you don't have any information and you have maybe a piece of paper, you don't have this, you don't have your listing paperwork, that's another one. Make sure you have your listing paperwork on you. Then you're making a big mistake and you're definitely not closing your listing appointment. Everybody good online? What just popped up here? Somebody popping up something on the whiteboard? You guys gonna draw something for me? Who's Jay? Jay's phone. I see the whiteboard pop up here. Anyways, everybody have a very good week. Let me know if you need help with your CMA or if you're working on it and you get lost. But like I say, the biggest thing is go on and practice. Use your own property. Take your own property and your own neighborhood and go and create a fake CMA in there and just get used to using it. So when you need to run out the door, when somebody calls you and says, hey, can you meet in an hour? You go, yeah, sure, no problem. You're not stressed about it. It takes you 10 minutes. 10 minutes, you go on, you do it, you finish it. You're at that listing appointment with a beautiful piece of material to help you. And you even got that nice new like website feature on it. It's going to look gorgeous. Like you worked forever on it. They're going to be impressed how you got it done so quickly. Okay. Everybody have a lovely week. Oh, wait, I had something in the chat. Let me see. Did I miss something in the chat here? I did. Oh, you did? That's awesome. Very good. Very good. Are you enjoying the new one in Realm, Sadia?
Yeah, the CMA is really cool.
It's really cool. It's really nice, right? Like I find the
Yeah.
Stratus one was a little rudimentary, but this one is just like such a nice change. One of
Yeah,
those.
some of the features are cool than Stratus, but it's a little bit still like I need to play around. But
Yeah.
CMA, it's really good.
Really good. Yeah, for sure, for sure. I even like the report that it spits out now. It looks a lot more professional. Before it was just like type, but now they have that footer with your information at the bottom and everything. It's a much more modern look to it. So really
I
happy
have
with
a
it.
question.
Yeah.
Is it like your booklet? How big it is? Like how many pages or what's the size of it? Is it possible to have an idea?
So the one that you do in Realm spits out, I think, 16 pages, something like that, when you go to print it. And then I'll just go back to it.
What
Hold
is
on.
this whiteboard thing?
Yeah. Then I add in these pages. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I added in about 9 more pages. So altogether I end up with about 15 pages.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
So is
I
it
might
like a
print I might print something extra, like if I might print their geo warehouse, you know what I mean, to
Mhm.
add in to show their assessed value. I might print an old listing of their property to say, hey, this was the old property you told me you did this, that, and the other, you know, on top of it. So it might be more than 15 every now and then, but basic definitely is 15.
okay?
Oh no, sorry, I think I did my math wrong. It spits out 9. I think it spits out, let me go to the CMA. 25, right? Because I think it spits out 16 when you do the CMA. Hold on, let's go back in real quick. 16 and then my 9. There we go here.
25.
Now we go download report. Let's see when it brings up the report. I'm pretty sure it's about 16 pages when it spits out the report. There we go. Yeah, 14. So 14 and my 9 then. There you go. So about 24 pages.
Yeah,
Oh.
okay.
No, 23. Let's do
23.
morning. Yeah.
So it's like it's like
That's
printed
for-
out as a A4 size.
Yeah, just regular sheet size. And I just
Okay,
grab a little like duotang from the dollar store and I throw it in there and I go and I leave it with them. And I mean, I think it looks really nice,
got it.
you know? And so many people ask me, oh, but I want to bring my my laptop in, or I want to bring my tablet in because it's so much more techy looking and it's nice. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm 100% behind it. Don't look like you don't know tech. Bring in that tech and show them, especially with that new feature. But I always want to leave something with them. You know what I mean? Because you take your tablet with you and it's gone and they're not thinking about you. But if you get left on their coffee table, they're definitely thinking about you. That's just my
Got it.
personal view on things, right? So,
Y-
yeah,
Thank you.
no problemo. All right, everyone, you have a very lovely week. Let me know if you need anything.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Talk to you soon.